I personally have to start thinking realistically about how to flee the country is what Yarvin supposedly wrote and then deleted from his Substack. This statement is good news of things to come, and I'll tell you why in a minute. If you don't know who Curtis Yarvin is, check out my video called This Guy Thinks He'll Never Die. It explains Yarvin's views on democracy and why he believes we shouldn't have one. The TLDR is that Yarvin wants to abolish democracy and equality, replacing them with a corporate hierarchy modeled after corporations. If you've ever had a job with a corporation, you already know that this is a problem. Imagine your entire life feeling like work. His idea is that if you don't like the ruler that you're living under, then leave and find a different one, just like work. If you look at all the changes in the US this year, this is where things are headed. The reason his views are on how the US governs matter is that he is the mind behind the money. It's the money that's influencing the high cost of everything, the money that makes you feel less secure in your job. It's the money that makes the political divides feel like a canyon. His ideas have influenced billionaire Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal and Palantir, the guy who donated $15 million to the super PAC that launched J.D. Vance's political career. Remember that J.D. went from running for his first seat in public office in 2021 to vice president in 2025. This man is as charismatic as a rock. Explain how he was able to achieve something like this. Please don't come to me in the comments saying Obama did the same thing, because he didn't. First, he was in the Illinois State Senate for 8 years, and then he served as a senator for Illinois for 4 years, and that's a far cry from holding one seat in 2 years and having a bad personality. Regardless of your opinion of him, Obama has charisma. And by the way, Vance used to work for Thiel at Manthrill Capital Management. As always, I've linked the resources I use for this video in the description. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kina. I talk about hard things with a soft voice. Thank you to everyone who shared ideas for what you'd like to see next. They're in the works. I know that Project 2025 stays on everyone's minds, but you have to realize that there is more to it. In my video called The Algorithm Musk Will Use to Take Over the Government, I talk about the 3 factions that came together under 47 to push their agenda. They all boil down to this. The right wants power, 47, he wants money, and the tech bros, they want control. Of these factions, the tech bro agenda, known as the dark enlightenment, is the most extreme. And that's saying something when considering Project 2025. Project 2025 wants to erode democracy, whereas Dark Enlightenment wants to abolish it. Project 2025 wants a strong president, while Dark Enlightenment wants an absolute ruler. Project 2025 wants a conservative, authoritarian U.S. Dark Enlightenment intends to move beyond the U.S. to a system like medieval Europe, a system of nobles and peasants. And if you're not already an influential tech bro, you're destined for peasantry. So why do I think there are good things to come, right? It's what Yarvin wrote in his post. The article is linked in the video description. It's called You Can't Handle the Truth. The second Trump revolution, like the first, is failing. It is failing because it deserves to fail. It is failing because it spends all its time patting itself on the back. It's failing because its true mission, which neither it nor, still less, its supporters understand, is still far beyond its reach as algebra is beyond a cat. Because the vengeance meted out after its failure will dwarf the vengeance after 2020, because the successes of the second revolution are so much greater than the first. Everyone involved with the revolution needs a plan B for 2029, and it is not even clear that it can wait until 2029. Losing the Congress will instantly put the administration on the defensive. Here's a Twitter exchange that captures the situation perfectly. First, Stephen Miller of Homeland Security. The issue before is now very simple and clear. There is a large and growing movement of left-wing terrorism in this country. It is well organized and funded, and it is shielded by far left Democrat judges, prosecutors, and attorneys general. The only remedy is to use legitimate state power to dismantle terrorism and terror networks. This country has a problem with the monkey. The monkey keeps biting people, and it's shielded by the organ grinder. The only remedy is to punish the monkey. Logic. Yarvin sees Miller as performative and ineffectual. Miller is emblematic of why the right always loses against deeper institutional power. It's tough rhetoric with little substance. Sure, it looks tough and makes headlines, but it does little to solve what Yarvin considers the problem: government. Yarvin wants the government gone. Getting rid of all the liberal judges is easier than getting rid of all one liberal judge. Getting rid of all the judges is easier than getting rid of all the liberal judges. Getting rid of the whole legal system is easier than getting rid of all the judges. Getting rid of the whole machine of government is easier than getting rid of the whole legal system. Getting rid of the whole philosophy of government is easier than getting rid of the whole machine of government. Here are some other points that Yarvin made in his post. 1, there is no risk of a Republican one-party state because there is no actual Republican Party. 2, it is not possible to remove the Democrat judges, etc., because there is no label sufficient to the purpose. All that happens if you attack woke, communist, politically correct, etc., is that they stop saying these words. So why does this give me hope? Well, Yarvin has heavy influence over the money. He has the ear of the tech bros. He's let them know that things are failing and that he's looking for a way out. And if he's saying it, they're thinking it. And soon they'll be saying it too. With that in mind, we as individuals, as a collective, we must keep our focus. We can't allow the media headlines to wear us down. Furthermore, we have to stop spending money on these tech companies, especially in AI. We're at a point with AI where it's becoming challenging to discern what's real and what's imaginary. But really, it's because AI is not the product it was touted to be. Do you know how I know? It's 2 things. First, OpenAI is buying chips from AMD, and AMD is giving OpenAI 160 million shares of company stock, which is about 10%. The value of AMD stock went up once OpenAI announced it'd buy AMD chips. Now stay with me. This came after NVIDIA said it'd invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI, boosting NVIDIA stock. Investors are concerned about the circular nature of this deal goosing up everyone's earnings and everyone's numbers, but it's not actually creating anything. All this because AI is supposed to replace everyone's jobs, right? Because AI is so much better at doing people's jobs than people are. So why is OpenAI building out its platform to include ads? Could it be because it's slop? Could it be because the value it has created is just a circle of tech companies gaslighting investors? I'm not going to answer those questions. I'm going to let them stay as food for thought. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, all that is to say, stay focused. The most significant impact that we can make is being mindful with how we spend our money. A lot of you watch your videos with ad blockers on, and that's one way of being conscious with your money. Your attention is money. Don't forget that. It's why I use affiliate links in my video. It takes time to gather all this information, unlike just reading a news story and adding my opinion to what I've just read to you. I want to link ideas that you may have missed. So when I share with you a product that I trust your support, anytime you support, it's greatly appreciated. And if you're still in need of moving email platforms, I use Proton Mail. There is a free version, but I personally prefer the Mail Plus subscription. The emails are encrypted before they leave my device. Even Proton can't read them. It includes features like self-destructing messages and email aliases and tracker blocking. The biggest thing for me is that Proton is funded by its users and not advertisers. So my data stays mine, and you can sign up through the link in my description, and that gets you 40% off of the annual subscription to Mail Plus. The discount link is in the video description. Right now feels all kinds of overwhelming, but what Yarvin wrote really gives me so much hope. And even if you don't feel the same, this is a turning point. It was great chatting with you, and I'll see you very soon in the comments. Okay, bye. Watch this if you haven't seen it already, and you can subscribe here if you're not subscribed already. Bye.